Throughout this training, you've been developing and publishing to the platform server. Is there any way to manage the platform server? For instance, to see which eSpaces are currently there? Well, the goal of this webinar is to introduce you to Service Center, a component that allows you to administrate the platform server and its applications. Service Center is a web console that enables the operational management of the Agile platform. In the administration area, you can administrate the server by creating users and roles with which you can grant users permissions over your server's resources. For instance, to publish an eSpace from Service Studio, you will need a user that has been set in Service Center. To administrate eSpaces, extensions, and solutions, you'll need access to the factory area. Here, you'll be able to see the application's details, but more importantly, application versioning, which allows you to publish or download any version stored in the platform server. Service Center also allows you to view event logs from the applications running in the server. This is done under the logging and monitoring area, namely the error and general logs. Finally, and we will save this for another lesson, Service Center allows you to obtain information about the platform server's activity by creating or viewing reports using Service Center's analytics capabilities, as well as configure the server and manage its licensing. You can access Service Center using a web browser by typing in your Agile platform's URL followed by /Service Center. After logging in as administrator, you are presented with Service Center's homepage. Here you have a global view of what is going on in the platform server. The web screen views in the last days, as well as the recently published eSpaces and extensions, are also available. To set up your server, you should go to the administration area that is only visible to administrators. Let us look at this server's roles. Roles define sets of access control rules for ID users such as developers, operators, and administrators. To access them, click the Roles link. As you can see, there are already some predefined roles created. You can add new roles by clicking the New Role link. Let's take a look at the administrator role. By clicking on it, you're able to see all the users that have access to that role, a summary of its security settings, eSpaces, extensions, and solutions this role has control over. You could assign this role to several users for them to share the same settings. Let's now take a look at the user's management. Clicking the New User link will allow you to create a new user. Type in the username, name, email, password, confirm password, and click Save. Once the user is saved, you can specify individual eSpaces, extensions, solutions, and security settings that this user is going to have control over. You can also assign the user a new role. Let's assign this user with the developer role. Notice that a user can accumulate more than one role. The resulting permissions will be the accumulation of the permissions of each role and the individual user permissions. After logging in and getting to the home page, the first thing you notice is that since this user is not the administrator, he can only see the Home, Factory, and Monitoring tabs. Let's start by publishing a solution. Let's access the Factory screen for this. Here, you can administrate the eSpaces, extensions, and solutions of this platform server. To upload it, go to the Solutions screen and click the Upload and Publish a Solution link. Select the solution file from your computer and click the One-Click Publish button. A solution file is a snapshot of an application at a given time and includes all necessary e-spaces and extensions. As such, after publishing the solution, the new solution appears in the solutions list. Clicking the solution yields the solution's details. Here, you can change its name, see what versions of the solutions are there in the server. Notice that there's only one version, the one that was just published. You can also download any version or publish it with the click of a button. The Components tab lets you associate other e-spaces or extensions to this solution. The Dependencies tab shows what other e-spaces or extensions are necessary for the selected components to work. And the Permission tab displays which individual users have any kind of permission over this solution. Back to the Versions tab. Clicking the version link will display what e-space and extensions versions are in that version, and what is its relation to the currently published ones. This way, you can see if there have been changes to each of the e-spaces and extensions since this version was last published. Clicking the eSpace tab now shows the eSpaces that have been published to the server, which are now the eSpaces that were packed in the solution. Clicking one of them will display the eSpace details screen, where a plethora of information about this eSpace can be viewed and edited. For instance, the different eSpace versions published in the server can be downloaded or published through the Versions tab. The Permissions tab allows you to grant individual users or roles permissions over this eSpace, and the References tab shows you what eSpaces and extensions does this eSpace reference, as well as what eSpaces reference it. The Details link will show you exactly what is referenced, be it web blocks, actions, entities, or anything other. The Web Services tab lists the web services that this eSpace uses and exposes to others. Finally, the Site Properties, Timers, and Application Phones tabs display the site properties, timers, and application phones that this eSpace defines and allow you to change its configuration settings and values. The Operation tab allows you to enable or disable runtime settings for this eSpace. Clicking the extensions will give you access to all the extensions in the platform server. You can see that the list now contains the extensions that were published by the solution you have published. The Monitoring tab is where you can monitor and audit running applications to detect and isolate performance and quality issues. Clicking on it will direct you to the error log, which lists error events logged by the platform server and by any of the applications or extensions running on it. The general log lists the events logged implicitly by the platform server or explicitly by running applications. This log can be filtered by eSpace, time of occurrence, etc. You can, for instance, see some slow SQL warnings here that indicate a query has some performance issue. There are another set of logs that you can dive into later, namely timers, web references, and screen logs. What have you learned? You now know that Service Center is used to manage your platform server. In the administration area, it allows you to administrate the server by creating users and user roles with which you can grant users permissions over your server's resources. To administrate eSpaces, extensions, and solutions, you can go to the Factory area. Here, you can see the eSpaces details, but more importantly, versioning, which allows you to publish or download any version stored in the server. Finally, you've seen how to view event logs from the eSpaces running in the server under the Logging and Monitoring area, namely the error and general logs, among others. Help us improve by rating this webinar. You are then ready to move forward to the next lesson. Thank you for watching. Please contact us with questions or feedback to training@outsystems.com.